guys, how's it going? Laura with Garden Answer. Today I want to show you how I put this Alice in Wonderland fairy garden together. So we initially filmed this video a couple of days ago, and I tried really hard in the filming process to talk about everything I was doing as I was doing it. Like I wanted it to be a really long explanatory video, but it was not going well at all. I have a really hard time thinking, designing, and talking all at the same time. So anyway, let me show you the project in fast motion, and then I will explain everything about it. I hope you guys liked seeing this come together. I was trying to think, okay, what can I do for this fairy garden to, one, kind of make it different than something that I've done before? What can I add to it that's kind of neat? Because, you know, I've done like a babbling brook in one, and I've done a fountain, I think, yeah, a fountain in one, like a waterfall. So I was trying to think, what could I do to make this one a little bit different? So I thought, oh, it would be kind of neat to do it in tiers, which actually works great for the Alice in Wonderland pieces because they're not quite like cohesive. Like I can't put them all in the same scene because some of them happen in different scenes of the movie. So I thought a tiered project would be really fun. So I started off with this smaller pot right here, and I thought, ooh, I could, since I'm doing it in 3 pots, I can do succulents in one and be totally fine. So I did succulents in that one. And then on the second tier right here, which I just used a little paver, that's what we had out behind our barn. So I just used a little brick paver to raise up the pot. And then I used just a menagerie of plants, like this coffee plant, which is in our houseplant section down at the garden center, an English daisy, frizzle sizzle raspberry, pansy, which I adore these little flowers, they're so cute. Some Scotch moss, and then I did tuck a sedum in there. It's a chocolate ball sedum, and I know that it doesn't really love as much water as the rest of these will get, but sedum can generally handle a little bit more water than most other succulents, so I'll keep my eye on that. If it starts looking bad, I'll pop it out, and it's just a little patch right there. And then this third layer right here is also like the variegated Aurelia from the houseplant section and the purple velvet plant, which I think is perfect for this garden, as well as the daisies, because like in the flower singing scene, what is that? You can learn a lot of things from the flowers. There was those sweet little pansies in that section, and that's what I always think of when I look at pansies. There's also a little variegated sedum in here, and there's a strawberry plant because it had sweet little like mini strawberries on it, and I thought it'd be super cute in a fairy garden. So I did use the appropriate soils for the appropriate plants. I used regular, the organic potting mix on these 2 layers, and then the cactus mix on that bottom layer. And then this third pot, I don't think I mentioned, but so this pot's raised up by 1 paver, this pot's raised up by 2, and they're pretty stable. Like I don't think that they're gonna go anywhere. I guess one could probably use like a double stack of them for a little bit more stability. The other thing about this garden, so I did have a bunch of pieces from myfairygardens.com. That's where all of the Alice in Wonderland pieces came from, including like these little zinnia picks down here. But I did hand make a few of the pieces in here. So of course the ladders, I just went and gathered some sticks that were out in our driveway and cut them up into pieces, used hot glue for the ladders. And then, what other piece? Oh, the little heart topiary. So like painting the roses red. Probably an easier way to do this out there. There's probably heart-shaped picks out there. I just didn't have one. I was just using what I had on hand. I had floral foam and I had fake boxwood pieces from, I can't even remember why I bought those, but it was late at night when I was trying to think, what can I do for a heart topiary? Because I knew I didn't have anything like that down at Plantwise at the garden center. So I took a piece of floral foam and used a steak knife and just shaved it into a heart, little heart, like a 3D heart, and then put a stick up in the bottom of it so it was a heart shape. And then I hot glued pieces of boxwood leaf onto the foam. And then I found the little mini roses in the ribbon section at the craft store. So I bought one package of red, and then I bought a package of white because I thought it would be really cute to show one kind of half painted, you know, when the cards are painting the roses red. And I used just like craft paint for that. And it said the color was bright red. It's kind of like a meh red, but you could kind of get the drift. And then the craft store also had these little tiny mini wood pots. So I bought a package of those and painted the top red like it's a little paint can right below the tree. So those are the pieces I handmade for this garden, but the rest of them were from myfairygardens.com. So a couple of questions that I know I will get, because they are the most popular questions, are, did you put too many plants in there? Are they going to survive? Or in other words, you put too many plants in there, they're going to all die. And how do you water this kind of garden? So first of all, I never put together a fairy garden with the intent on keeping it for a long time. I always put them together more, like for when we do a video, I put them together more for inspiration, to show maybe what it might look like after you've let it grow on a little bit. I do usually get a couple months, like 2 to 3 months out of a garden like this. And then obviously, I mean, the English daisy and the pansies are more spring flowers. So is the saxifrage right here, which is super pretty. But those will all fizzle, so I won't have flowers in here for that long. And really, I would want my fairy garden to have lots of color and be really bright, especially with the theme. So those ones will need to be transplanted out. Of course, the strawberry, you know, if you've ever grown strawberries before, you know how much they spread out. So you would want to, well, and I will, transplant this out into the garden probably in a couple months. And then you can repot the houseplants and enjoy them in your house. The succulents, however, they could stay like this for a long time. I mean, you could put them in there for like a year and they would be happy as a clam. Put that close together, because when you squish them together like that, they don't tend to grow as quickly. So they can handle being in a pot that squished together. As far as watering goes, I water with a large syringe, which we will link down below. I get asked where I get my syringe all the time. You can order them on Amazon. I like to take the syringe and water from behind, because all my pieces tend to be toward the front so that, you know, you can see them. So I'll take my syringe and go to the root ball of each of the plants and just give it a nice drink. And that way I can also kind of control how much water each plant gets. So if I do tuck a sedum in right here, I can water this pansy from this side instead of right in between. That way the root ball can soak it in from this side, and this sedum isn't getting a whole bunch of extra water. So that's how I will handle that. I typically don't have any problems with the plants like abiding together for any amount of time. Anyway, there are a couple perennials in here too, like the saxifrage and the Scotch moss. So those can go out into the garden and live happily. So anyway, I'm actually going to take this down to the garden center and display it in front of the front till. I get asked that too, like, what do I do with all my gardens? So a lot of times I will enjoy them here at home. My niece loves to come over and look at fairy gardens. And then eventually we'll take them apart and use the plants for other projects. And then sometimes, like this one, I'll take it down to the garden center and just display it somewhere so people can see it and maybe be inspired to try something. And I hope that it does that for you too. I hope that you watch something like this and think, oh, that's so fun. Like maybe you don't want to do something this, like with this many plants or this many pieces, but maybe it would spark something in you to want to go try, you know, just even a little pot out with a little couple fairy garden pieces or something like that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.